All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Thursday. We've got 3 NBA games, and we've got Thursday Night Football. NBA Cup was a success. We'll recap. But before we do that, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's free. And join the Discord. Link is down below. Good day in the Discord. Gave out 3 college plays. We went 2-1. Thought we were going to go 3-0. I gave out Marshall under their team total. They had 29 points in the first half. Total was 73, and they went absolutely insane in the second half. So it is what it is, but we did hit 2 others. And I'd given out 2 two-leg parlays for the NBA the night before. Both of those hit, so that was fantastic. Overall, we went 4-3 yesterday. Very disappointing after nice little start in the Knicks game. Hart was the only loss in that Knicks and Hawks game. He ended up getting 6 assists. We had his under 6. So GG there, got hooked. Karl Anthony Towns was super easy, over 12.5 rebounds. He had 14 in the first half alone. Mikal Bridges over 16.5 points. He nailed that for us. OG Anunoby over 4.5 rebounds. He got that for us in the third quarter. So pretty sweat-free, really. I mean, the only thing we were sweating was Hart assist, and it was perfect. I said yesterday the read was he had to almost go perfect, and he damn near did. So it is what it is. A lot of easy layups for assists for him. So that stinks. And then the next game, first half could not have gone any better. We had Curry over 5.5 assists. He had 4 at halftime. We had Fred VanVleet under 6.5 assists. He had 1 assist at halftime. And we had Buddy Hield over 2.5 rebounds. He got that for us in the first half. So looking fantastic. Third quarter, VanVleet comes out and gets 5 assists just almost immediately. It was ridiculous. And then picked up his 7th assist kind of late in the fourth quarter. So ended up busting that. And then Curry, we needed 2 assists in the second half. No one would pass the ball. It was dribble down and shoot, dribble down and shoot. So Curry got 1 assist in the second half. So that was a little gut-wrenching, man. It was looking like a 6-1 day for sure. I was feeling good about that. But 4-3, we get back in the ring. It's still a winning day. NBA, we're still doing great. We're 39-20 in December. But we need to crush some NFL. So got some plays for you. Let's talk about basketball. Then we will get to the football plays at the end. Decent amount of best bets. But with basketball, I've only got 4 right now. There's just too many injuries. It's got me a little nervous about today. So not nervous, but I need to see how the injuries shake out because they have a trickle-down effect that's massive on prop bets. Let's start with Detroit and Boston. Detroit, pretty heavy underdog, as you would expect, especially playing in Boston. Jason Tatum is a game-time decision. I'm not sure if he's going to play. He's got inflammation in his knee. He actually missed the last game versus the Pistons. I feel like that was probably on purpose. I feel like they could do that again, right? They're huge favorites playing against the Pistons. I could definitely see him not playing today. So I need to just wait and see because that has a trickle-down effect on a multitude of prop bets, right? Porzingis rebounds, Jaylen Brown rebounds, how Derek White plays. I mean, you name it, all the way to Holiday. I mean, every person in that lineup is very codependent in one way or another, good or bad, on Jason Tatum. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. If we look at the Pistons and the Celtics, they're both basically middle of the road. They're both 15th in pace, so not too bad there. Defensive rank, Boston is 7th, and Pistons are 13th. If we're looking for weak spots here, I would say for Detroit, they give up a lot of points to the center and the power forward position. So if Tatum is out, I love Porzingis to go over his points. You could kind of gamble with it. I want to say it's 19.5, but that is a gamble. Another thing that they're fairly weak at is rebounds to the power forward position. And then they give up a ton of threes to the center position as well. So the centers that do shoot threes usually have a lot of success. So that would be Porzingis. I think his line's at 2.5, so it's reflective of that. On the Boston side of the ball, a little more prone to give up points to that power forward position, give up a lot of rebounds to the point guard position. So that is a great spot for Cade Cunningham. They're also 17th in points to the point guard position. They're 9th in assists allowed. So I know we've been kind of taking Cade Cunningham's rebound and assist prop a lot. I think it still has value today, but it's really heavily juiced at 15.5. And in a potential blowout game, I'm just not sure which way I want to go with that. I would lean Detroit plus 12.5, honestly. We just haven't really seen Boston blow out a ton of teams. They just kind of let them hang around and linger, and they'll utilize their bench more. So give me Detroit plus the points here. In the next game, we've got the Raptors and the Heat. Heat 10.5 point favorites. It's a little steep. I would lean Toronto in this spot. Toronto plays at a pretty good pace. They're 5th in pace. Miami Heat are 27th in pace. Very similar in defensive ranks. Toronto 17th and Miami Heat are 16. So I would lean more towards that under 222.5 in this spot. In terms of injuries, Jimmy Butler is a game time decision, but expected to play. Obviously, Scotty Barnes had that ankle injury. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Still no Brown, still no Quickly. So kind of opens up doors for some guys. There's a prop. I don't really take 3-point props, but Grady Dick over 2.5 3-pointers made. He's got a ridiculous hit rate. If he takes more than 5 3-point attempts, he's 10 for 10 going over that line. He's been taking a ton of 3-point attempts. Without Scotty Barnes, I guess open up more opportunities for him to shoot threes. So Grady Dick over 2.5 threes. I did like that. Didn't put it on the card though. All right, other prop bets here for Toronto. I mean, they give up a ton of points to the point guard position and the shooting guard position. So it could be some options for Tyler Hero. You could look at that. Duncan Robinson, I mean, his 3-point prop, they're 22nd in threes to shooting guard position, so he's over 2.5 threes. You know, if you're a guy that likes to take threes, maybe that's an avenue you explore. They give up a lot of rebounds to the center position. So Bam Adebayo over 10.5 rebounds. I do like that. However, they give up the most assists to centers over the last 15 games. So Bam Adebayo has absolutely torched them. He has gotten 20 and 27 RNAs. So we are definitely on that today. I like that spot. And on the Heat side of the ball, they do a really good job of limiting points to pretty much every position. It's a good defense. The one thing that they do give up a lot of is rebounds. So they're 24th in rebounds allowed in the last 15 games, 21st in assists allowed. So they do give up a lot of rebounds and assists to the point guard position as well as the center position. So could be a good day to take Jacob Poeltl. I do have his over in assists. So I do like his over 2.5 assists. Rebound line's at 11.5. That's just kind of a very scary number to take Poeltl at. I think 12 is about his max that he's probably going to get. So it's a very tight line there. But ultimately, like I said, give me Toronto plus 10.5. Bigger lean towards that under 222.5. All right, next game. Final game in the NBA, Kings and the Pelicans. Kings are 12th in pace. Pelicans are 17th in pace. Kings are the better defense. They rank 15th. And the Pelicans, not a great defense, ranked 23rd. In terms of areas of opportunity for the Pelicans, shooting guard. Kings give up they're 27th in terms of points allowed to the shooting guard position, 18th in rebounds allowed to the center position, 18th in rebounds allowed to the small forward position, give up a lot of assists to the point guard position. So that could be, obviously, that's a spot for DeJounte Murray. So he could have a nice day on the assist side of the ball. I just don't like him on the rebound side because the Kings give up the fewest rebounds to the point guard position. 3-pointers. As a team, Kings give up a lot of 3-pointers. They're 29th in terms of 3-pointers made. So that's an avenue you could explore for the Pelicans. In terms of injuries, pretty much the same thing we've been talking about. Brandon Ingram's out, Alvarado's out, Hawkins is out, Zion's out. On the Kings side of the ball, you got Trey Lyles out, but that's just more of a bench player, so no major injuries on their side. Areas to explore for the Kings. Now, the Pelicans are overall weak in points allowed. Specifically, they're 28th in points allowed to the small forward position. So that would be DeMar DeRozan, who's kind of moved from that shooting guard position over to the small forward position with Malik Monk moving into the starting lineup. So maybe DeRozan points. They're giving up a ton of rebounds to the shooting guard position, so that would be Malik Monk. They're also giving up a ton of assists. So they're also giving up a ton of assists to the point guard position as well. So I don't want to take Fox. Like, I'm still looking to see how this dynamic is working with Malik Monk being in the starting lineup, right? They're going to steal assists from each other. So I'm not going to take anything with De'Aaron Fox yet. But, I mean, there is a play to take De'Aaron or Malik's assist, maybe Malik Monk's rebounds plus assists, given the statistics. Let's see. But overall, I think it's a great spot to take the Kings -5.5. I think it's too low. And I think this over-under is way too high. I would lean towards this under 231.5 in this game. All right, let's talk about our NFL game today. We've got the Rams and the Niners. Rams, very interesting game against the Bills. That one, I'm not going to lie, that game cost me a pretty good penny there. I had a nice payout if the Bills would have won there. We see a 3-point line for the Rams. I like the Rams. I don't know. I mean, after last week, I thought they looked really good. San Francisco looked absolutely dominant against the Bears. Bears suck. I think the 49ers are able to move the ball down the field. I think Stafford's able to move it. I mean, he's got a lot of great weapons. So I could see this being somewhere in the neighborhood of, 28-27, 25-24, something weird like that. I think it's going to be a tight game. So I would lean Rams +3. I like the over-under when it was 49.5 yesterday. 48.5 makes it a little more difficult, so I don't want to touch the over-under. I think that is just ridiculously perfectly placed. If anything, I may look to live bet the over-under. In terms of props that I like today in the NFL, or overall, I guess. So we'll start in the NFL here. I like Brock Purdy over 4.5 rushing attempts. He's over this in 6 of his last 10 games, over in 3 of his last 5. Rams are kind of middle of the road in terms of pressure rate, blitz rate, but I do think they are able to get through this line and get to Brock Purdy a little bit. It's going to force him to run. Obviously, there's some other avenues too, right? If we have a first half, let's say the Niners get it in the first half and there's 8 seconds left, right? Purdy takes a knee. That's a rush attempt. At the end of the game, if they're winning and they got to kneel down twice, that's a rush attempt. So we could hit this in a multitude of ways, but I do like this over 4.5. Brock Purdy over 250.5 passing yards. I don't take passing yards a lot. But I do like this spot. He's over in 60% of games. He had 292 yards the last time he played the Rams, albeit that was back in 2022. So that could be a little misleading there if you hear that. It has been a while. But I think with their running back issues, right, they're on their third string running back, although he did pretty good last week. I think they're just going to be a little more pass heavy. You could also look at his over pass attempts at 30.5 too. I didn't mind that. Next one on the card, Kyren Williams over 72.5 rushing yards. He's over this in 7 of his last 10 games. One of them, he missed this. He had 72. So it's almost like 8 of 10. 8 of the last 10 running backs have covered this line, or covered their line versus the Niners. So we know Kyron's going to be a heavy part of this game. I also looked at his over 17.5 rush attempts. I think it's tight. I think he could definitely get 18 or more. But I like him to get the yards. I could see him breaking one off. His rushing long, I believe, was 17.5. It's kind of teetering right in my comfort zone. If it were 14.5, something like that, I'd take it, but I'm not touching a line. Or maybe it is 14.5. That's what it was. 14.5. 12.5 was kind of the line I had in my head, so didn't want to touch that. Cooper Kupp under 72.5 receiving yards. Kind of scary. He's over in this line in 5 of his last 10. San Francisco has not allowed that many receiving yards since October 28th. So I think there's only been 3. I put this in the Discord yesterday. I think there's only been 3 receivers that have gone over this amount of yards versus the Niners all year. It was Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Garrett Wilson. The only 3 receivers all year. I think Puka has a good day. His over-under line's at 90, 92, something like that. I just don't foresee 2 receivers going over this line, given history of the season so far. Next one's going to be Ricky Pearsall under 16.5 receiving yards. He's over this in one of his last 5 games. He's missed it in 4 straight games. This guy's only had 5 targets in the last 4 games. We're not talking receptions. We're just talking balls thrown in his general direction. So, his over-under for receptions is 1.5. He's favored to go under. So we need him to not catch a ball for 17 yards, kind of the way I'm looking at it. So I like the spot here. And then the NBA, CJ McCollum over 3.5 rebounds. Another play that I posted in the Discord last night. He's got an 80% hit rate in his last 10 games without Brandon Ingram. So no Ingram. I like this spot for him. I think DeJounte Murray is going to be out there dish and assist. I could see the Kings taking some threes. That'll set up McCollum for some rebounds. I just like the spot here. Jacob Poeltl over 2.5 assists. He's over this in 4 straight. No Scotty Barnes. Miami's 21st in assists allowed to the center position. This is a beautiful spot to take Poeltl assist here. Eve Missy over 9.5 rebounds for the Pelicans. He's over this in 5 of his last 6 games when he plays at least 29 minutes. Kings are 18th in rebounds allowed to the center position due to all the injuries. This guy's going to see an increase in minutes. He's played 29 and 32 minutes over the last 2. So safe to assume that he is most likely going to play 30 plus unless this is a blowout. But we have a somewhat tight line of 5.5 here. So I do like this spot. And then last play, Bam Adebayo over 15.5 rebounds plus assists. We already talked about this. He has absolutely torched the Raptors his last 2 games. He had 20 rebounds and assists in the first game, and then 27 rebounds plus assist in the last game against them. He's been absolutely crushing the assist line. It's at 5.5, so I didn't want to just take the assist. I'll check through the day on that. I definitely, I feel like it should be 4.5, but it's almost like too cakey to take. But there's too much juice on that 5.5 to touch. And his rebounds at 10.5. I think he does one or the other really well. Could do both well. So to me, this is almost like you're kind of hedging a little bit. He's been dishing out so many assists. It's hard to just fade that, in my opinion. Let's see. Two other plays I gave out. I don't know if I gave this out in the Discord on here, but Brunson over 2.5 rebounds. We hit that easily. Jalen Johnson over 8.5 rebounds. Those were Discord plays I gave out that smashed. So those are the plays for today, guys. Give the video a thumbs up and comment down below with your favorite play, and I'll catch you in the next video.